Welcome, everyone, to WKYC's Facebook Live. It's instant reaction, and unfortunately, the news is not good tonight for the Cavaliers. They lose in overtime in Game 1 of the NBA Finals to the Golden State Warriors. 124-114 is the final. This one was right there for the Cavaliers to win. There's no question about it. There's going to be a lot of discussion between now and Sunday about missed opportunities and things that didn't go the Cavaliers' way, certainly down the last minute or so. Let's talk about it. I'm already the first two. The two things to talk about is what happened in the last minute of the game. We're in regulation. The Cavaliers had a 2-point lead on Golden State. Kevin Durant is driving down the lane. LeBron James looked to be there in time to take the charge, and that was the initial call. So it looks like at that point, you got about, 45 seconds left to go in the game, and the Cavaliers are about to get the ball back with a 2-point lead on Golden State and an opportunity to, stretch that game out and win it right there. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. Golden State on a reversal, and a lot of you I know are upset about this, and the referees, refs blew the game, refs blew the call. They really did. To review that, to me there was nothing that made that call reversible in my mind. There was nothing that was an obvious miss on that. I mean, it was close. I didn't think it was a call that was irrefutable, that you could say, well, it's an irrefutable blocking foul on LeBron. I didn't see that at all. So that's unfortunate, and I really think that started to sap some of the mojo, I think, out of the Cavaliers. Nevertheless, despite all that, the Cavaliers have an opportunity after a Steph Curry three-point play. They came down by a point, and George Hill was fouled with 4.7 seconds to go in the game. He hits the first free throw, and then on the second free throw, he left it short. So, okay, already there's, George, you got to hit your free throws. J.R. Smith gets the offensive rebound, but then absolutely mind-bogglingly takes the basketball out of the paint and goes back to the perimeter. And by the way, the Cavaliers did have a timeout left, but I'm convinced that JR just absolutely thought the Cavaliers had the lead, and he was dribbling the ball out. And, his teammates were calling for the ball. I would imagine probably the bench might have been calling for a timeout. Didn't happen. And the Cavaliers had the opportunity there to try to win it in that sequence. They didn't do it. You go to overtime. It's all knotted up. I think it was 104-104. And at that point, you just kind of realized at that point it's going to be tough because you just gave the Warriors 5 extra minutes. Golden State outscored the Cavs in overtime 17-7. And that was it. So Golden State leads the series now 1-0. They'll play Game 2 back at the Oracle on Sunday night. I'm not into moral victories, but I would say this. I'm very pleased with the way the Cavaliers played tonight. Led by LeBron James, he was superb in 48 minutes. Because remember, we went to overtime. So 48 minutes into the game, he played 48 of 53 minutes. He had 51 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. Kevin Love had an off shooting night from beyond the three, but I thought Kevin played terrific. He had 21 points and 13 rebounds. J.R. Smith, despite the play, he finished with 10 points. Nice game off the bench from Larry Nance. He had 9 points and 11 rebounds. Tristan Thompson had only 2 points and 5 rebounds. But the other thing that happened right at the end of the game, and if you've ever listened to me on the radio before, I do not like Draymond Green. I think he's a punk. I think he is a provocateur. He gets in your mind and, can cause you to lose your mind. And he did it to Tristan Thompson as the clock was winding down. Golden State was just kind of winding down the clock. Sean Livingston put up a shot as their shot clock was expiring with the 10-point lead. Thompson got the rebound, and apparently he and Draymond started jawing at each other. It got to the point of taunting, and Thompson was thrown out of the game, as was Klay Thompson. So we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, Draymond, it was the instigator of all that, and he just is a guy that, you know, he had a Draymond game tonight, by the way, too. 13 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. That's what he does. Kendra says agitator. That's his job. That's absolute, Kendra, that is absolutely right. That is his job. Jeff says JR should not play another second in the series. I'm not going to say that, but just disappointing, and I'm sure JR will be asked about it a lot in the postgame, what happened in that sequence. That just that can't happen. You've got to know, you know, the time, and you've got to know, you know, where we're at in the game and the score, and he didn't. A lot of refs should wear Warrior jerseys. Refs are on the Warriors payroll. Folks, it was a bizarre call. I at that time of a game with a minute to go, the one thing you don't do is change a call like that. I mean, I just think that was the wrong time and the wrong play. Joanna says Cavs fouled all night, no calls from the refs. LeBron gets slapped in the face, and what do the refs do? Oh, my God, they're awful. Well, yeah, I mean, from the foul shooting standpoint, I would say this. Cavs shot 22 free throws. Golden State shot 20. So, yeah, I try to look at that sometimes when you say, okay, the referee's doing this or that. It seemed to be I didn't feel like until that point they had called a terrible game. That was a horrible call, though. You can't do that. Susan says Cavs played great till overtime. Yeah, and you just had a feeling in overtime there was going to be nothing left in the tank for the Cavaliers, and that's what happened. Just kind of looking at what else, other stats. Shooting-wise tonight, the Cavs were they were at 60%, I think, for most of the first half. They ended up shooting about 45% for the game, 44 of 98, including 10 of 37 from beyond the three-point line. They had 11 turnovers tonight, so somebody said to me on here that Cavs had too many turnovers. Yeah, I mean, LeBron had 5. It's one of the things we have to deal with. You deal with LeBron. It's the cost of doing business. LeBron is an instigator. He tries to set up plays, and sometimes his passes will be too long, too high, or whatever. But, you know, you'll take that, I think, with the 51 points. I mean, it certainly gave you an opportunity to win the game tonight. Russ says, Kendrick Perkins has 6 fouls to use. Let him use them. I would not have a problem with that at all, Russ. I would not have a problem with that. Another one, Joey says, so many missed calls against the Cavs. Drain the NBA swamp. Well done. Yeah, why not involve Perkins in the game? Well, I mean, Kendrick is a guy that at this stage in his career, really the best thing he is, you know, really an advisor for the players, an emotional leader for the players. His role, if he ever played on the floor, would be to go out there and commit fouls. Somebody asked, you know, where was Ty Lue? Well, I mean, that's another thing. I'm sure he's going to be asked, and we're going to get off here in a couple minutes because I want to give everybody the opportunity to go watch the post-game interviews as we want to do here. I'm sure Tyronn Lue's going to be asked about that. Why did he not, you know, call timeout more vocally after JR had gotten the rebound? You know, didn't he know maybe he should have called a timeout before George Hill shot the free throws? I mean, you know, you can have that. You can have that discussion. Donovan says, I thought we were in the lead. No. Mike says, next game, start the bench, let them foul out in the first quarter. Do some damage. For Golden State tonight, their big three, I mean, there was nothing Golden State did that shocked me or surprised me. Steph Curry had 29. Klay Thompson had 24. Durant had 26. I mean, that's what they do. That's about their average. And as I mentioned, Draymond came close to a triple-double. Sean Livingston always beats his old team. Remember when Sean Livingston, before LeBron came back, Sean Livingston was a Cavalier for like that 1 year. I've always regretted that they couldn't keep him because I love Livingston, love the way he plays. He's a matchup nightmare. Perfect 4 for 4 from the field tonight. But other than that, I mean, Golden State's bench or their supporting cast really didn't do anything. And it's one of the reasons why I really thought that the Cavaliers, if they were going to steal a game in Golden State, and they may, and folks, I think they can still go out and win Sunday. No question about it. But tonight, Golden State didn't have Andre Iguodala. key sixth man, runs that second unit. LeBron does not score 51 points tonight if Andre Iguodala is guarding him. LeBron would have to be more of a distributor because Iguodala is a very good defender. So it was the opportunity tonight to try to get a victory when the opportunity is there for you, and the Cavs didn't do that tonight. Mike asked me what was JR's shooting percentage. 3 for 10, including 2 for 6 from beyond 3-point line. Larry Nance, one thing, Larry, somebody else just mentioned, Larry Nance Jr. was awesome tonight. 9 points, 11 rebounds, and my favorite Larry Nance Jr. stat, only 2 fouls. Remember in Game 7 against Boston, when he first came in, committed 2 fouls in the span of 2 minutes, so Ty Lue had to take him out, and then when he brought him back in the second half, he came in and committed another foul, and he was a virtual non-factor. Tonight, he was great. He was absolutely great, and I think his length and his rebounding and his ability to be somewhat of a rim protector, I think can really go forward and help the Cavaliers. So if he can stay out of foul trouble, I think it helps the Cavaliers. He was terrific. I thought he was great tonight. I thought he was absolutely great. Jeff Green got off to a slow start. He finished with 7 points and 5 assists. Going to need to see more, I think, scoring from him moving forward into Game 2. This was one, folks, again, this is one the Cavaliers are going to lament losing, despite the referees, despite the call that shouldn't have happened down the stretch. This was a game that was there for the winning for the Cavaliers, and they couldn't do it. So this will be a couple of days for them. They'll have tomorrow and they'll have Saturday to relax and get recharged. I mean, LeBron looked great today with a couple of days off. So hopefully with a 2-day break, LeBron will get energized, and the rest of the Cavs will get energized and come out and try to get that win on Sunday in Game 2, come back here to Cleveland with a 1-1 tie, which I think is essential. I just don't think the key is, to me, the Cavs have to get out of Golden State with a tie, with a 1-1 tie, and do no worse than go back to Golden State for a Game 5 with a 2-2 tie. Then I think they have the opportunity to win this series. And it's still, the way they played tonight, they put themselves in positions like this. They'll give themselves a chance. Okay, a lot of post-game coverage at WKYC.com. Matt Florjancic and Ben Axelrod have stories up there right now. We've got social graphics. So lots for you to see and look back on with this one. And then certainly we'll be talking more about it tomorrow and into the weekend as we get you ready for game number 2. Okay, folks, thanks so much for watching. I'm Dave DeNatale. Again, your final tonight in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Golden State 124 and the Cavaliers 114 in overtime. Thanks for watching, everyone, on WKYC's Facebook Live.